Today's video is an NHS doctor vlog in the emergency department, and I promise you this video has nothing to do with coronavirus. And the reason is that I actually filmed this back in December and it's the 5th of April today and I've only just got round to editing it. So hopefully a little bit of escapism from everything that's going on in the world, and this will show you what a typical winter shift is like in A&E. Now, the reason I haven't actually edited it and got around to doing it for the last 3 months is because I've been away travelling, and so I haven't actually worked in the NHS for the last 3 months. I haven't seen what the impact of coronavirus has been like firsthand, but I will be going back to work next week and I will be keeping you up to date with my experiences. So if you want to see what that's like, what it's like working on the front line, then make sure you are subscribed to my channel, hit the bell notification button so you get notified when my videos go live, and follow me on Instagram over at Dr. Sarah Nicholls. I hope you guys enjoy this video and give it a thumbs up if you do. Good morning, guys. I was working last night in A&E. I got home about 2 in the morning, but I couldn't sleep for hours and hours. So I've had about 5 hours sleep, but I've got to get up right now because I'm going to go and do a talk at the University of Leicester. I'm really excited. I haven't done any public speaking really before, apart from like presentations for work. So I'm a little bit nervous, mainly in case I forget my words. Vince gave me some good advice and suggested that if I do forget my words, to just have a drink of water and act like it's all fine and it's all normal, and then maybe put a question out to the audience. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it cool and pretend I'm not nervous at all, and I'm hoping that the fact that I'm sleep deprived will not show on my face. And after I've done my speech, I'm then going straight to the emergency department in Nottingham and I'm going to go and work a shift. So yeah, I thought I'd bring you guys along for another little vlog. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name's Sarah. I'm a doctor in the UK and I make videos about my life as a doctor and also what I get up to in my free time. So feel free to have a look at some of my other videos. I've got loads of playlists of vlogs and other videos that you might enjoy if you are medically inclined. Don't forget to hit subscribe and that little bell notification so that you get notified each time I upload a vlog. Let's get going. Okay, so the speech went well. I think the girls that organised it were so lovely. It was really nice. I was talking about social media and mental health, and I decided to like divide it up into an A to E, so A, B, C, D, E, because that's what we do in the emergency department, and I thought let's keep things simple. It's just nice to always have a bit of a structure to a talk, and that kind of calmed my nerves because I knew what was coming next. But yeah, really engaging audience. I asked lots of interesting questions and I felt like they were all giving me their full attention, which was really nice. I expected people to be like playing on their phones and not listening that much like we used to do at uni. So if you're watching and you were at that talk, then thank you guys. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you were there at the talk. Reached work. I'm just sat in the car park at the moment with the car off, and I don't have time to go in with all of my clothes, get changed and come back out to the car, drop it off and then go back to work. So I'm gonna have to get changed in the car. I'm just hoping that no one sees me. I think a lady saw me in my bra, but never mind. I'm feeling quite like buzzing after doing that talk actually. I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to do more public speaking. I think that doing YouTube has made me a lot more confident in speaking, and I noticed that I wasn't saying and as much as I used to when I first started this channel. I'm getting more sort of fluent with my speaking. Quick snack before I start. Started my shift at 4 PM. It's 10 to 11 and I haven't eaten anything since that cereal bar. I'm a huge believer in food that doesn't take a long time to prepare, especially when you're working long hours like I am today. And if that food happens to be really nutritious, then even better. So here I've got some couscous and vegetables, which is from the frozen section in Aldi, and I literally just chuck it in a Tupperware box and it defrosts as the evening goes on. And I've got a pre-cooked salmon fillet on top, and I have that with some fruit and some nuts. I spent my break watching the midlife crisis video where Rohin ends up dealing with a cardiac emergency on a plane, and you guys, if you're not watching him, hilarious, you need to watch. Right, it's 2 a.m, well, 20 past 2. And I finally finished my shift. That shift weirdly felt like it went on forever. Normally I think I finish these vlogs and I'm like, oh, well, that shift went really quick. But this one, it just felt like it was the never-ending shift. I had some really quite sick patients and lots of emergencies. So it was an interesting shift, but yeah, tiring. It was probably more tiring because of the fact that I didn't have much sleep last night. And I do generally just think that the work is harder when you're sleep deprived. By the time I get home, I will have been out of the house for 14 and a half hours as well. So yeah, I think that makes the day feel long. Lots of you ask me what A&E actually looks like and ask me to film in the department. But obviously I can't do that. I can't film anywhere where I might accidentally film a patient or film patient identifiable information, which is why I always just do like little clips of me walking down the corridor or like in the staff room, something like that. However, one of my colleagues showed me a clip of our A&E in the news. I think it was like from 2 or 3 years ago, but it just looks exactly the same still. And this is exactly how A&E looks when I say it's been a busy shift. I obviously cannot film this. This photo should hopefully demonstrate what I mean when I say there were patients everywhere and people were having to wait a long time to be seen. So I'm just going to give you guys a very quick rundown of the cases I saw tonight, a few of the most interesting cases that I saw tonight. So a really interesting case that I saw was a patient who came in with some shortness of breath. Her observations, so her vital signs, blood pressure, heart rate, those kind of things were normal. But she had this shortness of breath, and we were worried because she had a significant cardiac history, i.e. she had things wrong with her heart that we knew about from before. I won't go into too much detail about the specifics, got to keep patient confidentiality. It turned out she was having a heart attack there and then in front of us, and she didn't even really realise. She didn't have any pain, she didn't have any of the usual things that we might associate with a heart attack, so she wasn't sweating, wasn't feeling sick or anything like that, didn't have any arm pain. Immediately got her sent over and accepted to the cath lab to have some primary PCI. So that was quite interesting. That was all very rush, and normally in A&E we don't see those patients. Normally they get picked up by the ambulance and taken straight there as a direct referral from the paramedics. So it was quite interesting to see that and to manage it firsthand. I've only managed a handful of those in real life. Saw another patient from a care home who was having some swallowing issues, which is quite common in elderly patients, especially patients who've had strokes, dementia, those kind of things. You can lose control of the muscles that help you with swallowing. This patient had had some food go down the wrong way, they think, and it had caused an aspiration pneumonia. So aspiration pneumonia is where food goes down the wrong way, goes into your lungs and causes a bacterial infection. So the patient was feverish, had a cough, just generally not very well. So we started them on the sepsis pathway, IV antibiotics, IV fluids, gave them oxygen, make sure they've got all of the other bits and pieces they need, chest x-ray, blood cultures, making sure we do a VBG to check their lactate. And actually, even in the department, this patient picked up. So really good result, and hopefully they will make a good recovery. I have another video with loads of case discussions, and I go into a lot of detail, including another sepsis patient. So have a look at the video that has this thumbnail and you'll be able to see some more cases. I had a couple of patients who had taken overdoses, and that was why they'd come to A&E, and sadly that is something we see fairly frequently, so you get quite used to dealing with overdose patients. There's some really brilliant guidelines that we follow, and it very clearly lays out what we do for certain types of overdoses, the exact management, the things that become problematic, and how to recognise those, what bloods to order, other investigations you might need to do, and which teams you might need to get involved. So we're really fortunate that we have really brilliant guidelines for overdose patients. A lot of the time patients have had mixed overdoses. They'll take lots of different things, and they might take them with alcohol or other drugs, and they might not always tell you exactly what they've taken. Every person's physiology reacts slightly different to medications, so you never quite know what you're dealing with. You also may add into that quite often the medications that people overdose on can make you really drowsy, especially if they've taken with alcohol or drugs. So they can't always give you a full history, and a lot of the time their mental health problem might prevent them from actually giving you the full information that you need. So they can be quite tricky in terms of an emergency perspective. Those guidelines are there to help us and make it easier for us to manage those patients. And another couple of patients that I saw two patients who were elderly patients, had fallen and broken hips, so had 2 orthopaedic referrals to do tonight. I did actually see a few more patients. It was a really busy night, and I had some patients handed over to me because I'm on the twilight. I was covering, you half a day shift, half a night shift. So when the day shift finishes, you take on their patients. So I had quite a lot of handover patients, and it was busy. It was busy. I had lots of jobs to do, lots of patients that were becoming quite unwell, and I had to kind of act fast, get in the zone, do my ABCDE assessment. But overall, it was a good shift, and I'm ready for bed. I'm ready to tackle tomorrow's shift. I've got one more shift, and then I've got a couple of days off, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow's shift, but I'm also very much looking forward to my days off. I can't wait to go home and get into bed. In fact, I can't wait to go home and take out my contact lenses because my eyes feel like shriveled up raisins. They're so dry right now. So guys, that brings us to the end of this video, and I can confirm I took out my contact lenses and I slept really well that night. I was just thinking about this particular shift while I was editing this video, and I remember that there were 2 consultants that actually stepped down to junior members of the team, came in in their free time that shift because we were so understaffed, and really lovely that they did that, and hats off to them for doing it. But a bit of a shame that we got in that position anyway, but that is the reality of the NHS at the moment. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and hit the bell notification icon if you want to see what I get up to, and actually follow me for the realities of being in the front line. I'll catch you next time. Bye!